Okay, hello. Um, and welcome to Act 2, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet. Now, we've just seen the balcony scene where we had a proposal, we had declaration of love, quite an intense scene. And Shakespeare wants us to know what happens directly after this. So, Romeo, as he said, has gone running off to the friar, who we're going to meet today, Friar Lawrence, who actually plays a pretty significant part in this play. So we find the friar, and basically he's in the garden. He's picking herbs. Nothing too much to look at this. So he is picking plants, and he's talking about how the earth, that's nature's mother, is her tomb, and it's also a womb. So, the earth is a thing where things live and things die, and obviously we know that, but a bit of foreshadowing there. The first kind of main quote we're going to look at is this one. Virtue itself turns to vice being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Okay? So with this one, there is a clear foreshadowing. And there's a kind of a meaning there that I don't really want to tell at the moment because it's a bit of a spoiler. But we're going to see that the idea that good can, doing good things can end badly. It can end badly in a way that you wouldn't expect. So Romeo comes in and he's still talking about kind of the herbs and the kind of plants and stuff that he's using. And we're getting another bit of foreshadowing here. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, so he's got a flower in his hand, poison hath residence and medicine power. So there's this one thing, and it can both harm and heal. Okay? Now, we're seeing kind of a clear bit of foreshadowing there and a metaphor for several people in this play, but definitely for Romeo. That's a quote we're definitely going to come back to when we are properly kind of analysing. But that's definitely one to note at the moment as well, because it's a really good example of foreshadowing, but I don't want to kind of give anything away just yet. As he comes in, Friar Lawrence is surprised to see Romeo. Why are you here so early? This is why, something must be wrong. I mean, he is right, to be fair. Something is kind of not normal. He says, young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. He then kind of carries on the idea with, thou art uproused with some distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right, our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight. So, they've got quite a good relationship. Obviously, a friar is a person you would go to confession, you would have a working relationship. It would be someone who you have a personal connection with, because the idea is that you have a personal connection with them, and therefore it helps your personal connection with God, because they are the root between kind of humanity and the immortal, the gods. Okay, so here we see Romeo trying to kind of catch up the friar with his kind of life. With Rosalie, my ghostly father, no, I forgot that name, and that name's a woe. And Friar Lawrence says, oh great, that's good. So that's good. You're getting over it. That's nice. We obviously know a bit of dramatic irony. There's a reason he's gotten over it, and it's not probably the best reason. It's not like he's actually just kind of thought about it and gone, okay, I need to calm down. He's just found a new kind of rebound, almost a flex. As if I've said that. How embarrassing. Look, he says, I've been feasting with mine enemy, whereon a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Okay? So the idea here is that obviously he's been fraternising with the enemy almost, the Capulets. Where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded, sorry. So the kind of whole conversation that we saw in the previous scene with, are you Romeo and a Montague? And he says, neither of thee dislike either. Yeah. We're seeing that same thing, that kind of, they're both almost wounding each other by being from different families, but they have been kind of feasting on the same idea almost. So the friar is not entirely sure what's going on, and he says, be plain. Romeo puts the odd on the table. Plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combine save what thou must combine, by holy marriage. Now that is the reason he's here. Holy marriage. He wants to get married. He's proposed to her. She's basically said yes. He's off to get permission. Again, he met the girl yesterday. Yeah? And he's already the next day planning the wedding. And he's already the next day planning the wedding. Yeah? Consent to marry us today. Today, right now. We're coming back to the idea of Romeo being our old pal, impulsive. Yeah? It's his fatal flaw, his character flaw as a tragic Shakespearean character. Marry us today. Friar Lawrence, at first, what a change is here. Did you so love, so soon forsaken? Yeah? So what a change is here. It's a really good quote, that one. He's almost speaking for the audience at this point. Whoa, you've changed your tune, haven't you? Hang on, weren't you just in love with Rosaline last time I saw you? And we're kind of thinking the same thing. He's voicing kind of the ideas of the audience at this point. Now he then moves on to an idea that Romeo doesn't really like, as we see in the past. Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. It's the idea that there's the lust over love here. That it's about lust rather than love. It's about sexual attraction. It's about attraction, aesthetics. And we can probably sympathize with that. We can understand where he's coming from with that. Where Friar's coming from, I mean. And we could argue that we even agree that actually this isn't love, this is just lust. And it's almost a rebound. So he talks about salt water thrown away in waste. So you were here with me so much crying about Rosaline. That salt water from your eyes, it's all gone to waste. What are you talking about? And the old groans are yet ringing in his ancient ears. Yeah? So I can still hear your moaning about kind of wishing to be with Rosaline in my ears echoing. It was so kind of recent, and now suddenly you're in love with a new girl. Yeah, so he's really kind of putting it all on the line for Romeo, which is kind of his job as a priest. He'd want to be honest with him. Now Romeo gets kind of a bit offended. He says, you chidsed me off for loving Rosaline. Chidsed is kind of you scorned me, you kind of scolded me, you told me off, basically. You mocked me. And he says, not for loving, it was for doting, for kind of being, for fancying, basically. You're coming here now saying that you love someone. It's a whole new step. Now, again, we get this fatal semantic field. Bury, grave, yeah? We're getting, again, these kind of subtle hints. Well, not even subtle, to be fair. We're getting these hints from Shakespeare of what is coming. And again, from the prologue, we already know that it is going to come. Now, here is where the friar starts to change his mind on whether he's going to do this. Now, look at this. In one respect, I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancour to pure love. Think about what he's saying there. He's saying, well, it's all right because actually, if we do this, maybe the war will end. Not really the reason to be doing it. I think often this is seen as a way of the friar being quite hubristic. He's kind of thinking, he's quite arrogant. I can be the one who solves the war. Yeah? Now, we end on a little juxtaposition here. I stand on sudden haste, this kind of, this pattern of quick verbs and of sudden movements and, again, impulsivity. And the friar says, wisely and slow they stumble that run fast. Calm yourself. Take your time with it. That is the perfect advice for Romeo. Do you reckon he takes it? No. Of course he doesn't. But we are seeing that he does have that influence in his life, and he's almost got the chance to change. Okay? So, pretty short scene there, but a really, really crucial one, as you can imagine. And that's it, really. So, got any questions? Let me know. I'll see you soon. Bye.